Hello, I'm Liz Ackley, and today I'm going to talk to you about my new studio, which is in the background here. And I have, if you've been watching me for a while, you'll realise that I've recently, or relatively recently, at the end of last year, moved to North Wales. And for a while I've been converting this room into my studio. And so what I'm going to do today is, first of all, I'm going to share with you where it started and some works in progress. And then I'm going to turn the camera around and share with you what is in the background here now. And what I thought I would do is to do this before I move the furniture and the art materials and everything back into the space, so that I could share with you in more specifically some of the things I've been up to, and you can see them a bit clearer rather than having everything in the way. And so without further ado, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the camera around and get going. So this is how the room started. This is the front of the room. It was all caged in essentially with this display cabinet, very dark, and underneath was all of this wiring and the electric meters and the gas meters, and essentially work that needed to be done with the consumer board for the electrics. And obviously by pulling it all out, all of that display unit, all of the plaster was all damaged on the side of the room, and all of the wires needed organising and sorting. So quite a mess, and only a single skin, so it all needed to be sorted out. And so the way in which I decided to do it was to obviously to replaster and sort out all the wiring, and then to box in and form this window seat underneath the window that was insulated. And doors are put in to this seat so that I can open them to read the meters and access. And so here we go. This is me starting the painting. As you can see, the awful reddy pink and brown means that it's a real challenge. You need many coats of paint, and the ceiling is very high, 3.5 meters high. So the top half of the room I had to do from scaffolding, and balancing on that could be a little bit tricky, and you can see it better here, but it's a pretty heavy, cumbersome thing, and I would drag it around the room so that I could use it to paint the top part of the room, using the kind of ladders that you see at the two And here you can see the spotlights on the ceiling. As part of the electrical work, I had two bars of spotlights so that I can really light the room effectively, and these are daylight bulbs. And here as well you can see that the top half of the room, or top part of the room, is painted, the ceiling and the sides of the walls and the front window edge actually, ready for the rest of it to be painted, so then I could remove the scaffolding so that I could get on with the rest of it. And the other thing to say is that the window and the room is northeast facing. So although in theory it wouldn't be that bright, the east means that you do get some light coming into it, especially in the morning. And also the very large window means that you actually bring in huge amounts of light into this space anyway. So here is the studio ready to move into, and I just thought I would walk around and share with you some of the things. You'll have seen some things in progress. So if we start over here, I have sorted out all of the windows, and obviously it's all been painted now, and you would have seen this in progress. And now this is the window seat that I'm actually going to be putting a cushion onto, or cushions. And what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to have the cushions divided so that I can actually raise up the blind and maybe put paintings in the window. And these are day-night blinds, and then I've got a blind over the door, and underneath that I'm going to be putting, on the glass, I'm going to be putting some sort of sandblast effect so that I won't have to have the blind down all the time on the door, but it will give some extra privacy. And as you will have seen in painting, this has been a bit of a mission impossible. These now are the trap lights. You probably saw them, it's already on some of the images, but they were put in, and underneath the seat is where all of those electric and gas meters and cabins are, and wires. all hidden there. So over here, so at the top you'll see now those are all painted white, so you can't really see those bars now, but I think they'll be quite handy for hanging paintings on. And I'll share with you my lovely switches, because those are all new, and a lot of this actually has been retained and painted and decorated, so this is the same skirting that was on before. What I've done on this wall here is to put these shelves up. These are going to be for ongoing works, smaller works that I can use to display and see them as I'm working on them. And then into here, I did toy with the idea of putting a door on, but I think it's much better open because I've got quite a lot of storage under the stairs. And what I will eventually do is build in shelves, but what I'm going to also store in here are the canvases and panels and materials, including paints. And for now I'm going to use freestanding shelving and also my trolleys, but a very useful storage area. And so one of the things that I had originally thought on the floor I was going to just use a lino, but as it happened I could get very good quality laminate wood, which I think works a lot better and what looks really nice with the white. And although it's quite solid, it actually wasn't any more as expensive than using the lino, so that just goes to show, doesn't it, really? And then on this wall, this is going to be my painting wall, and you can see there that rather large piece of what is actually MDF, and that's going to be screwed to the wall. And just because everything is nice and new here, I'm going to actually repaint that white, and then the screws will go onto that. And what I will have, because obviously I don't want to get paint everywhere, I will put the rubber matting system at the bottom of the wall so that it doesn't get absolutely covered in paint. And so yeah, I think I've now covered everything. So it gives you an idea of what the space is like. I'll just go to the far door so you can see. It's not huge, it's 3.5+ meters square. And obviously I've got the storage space, which is quite nicely hidden, and there's a light in there as well. So what I thought I would do is just to share this with you today, and then I will share it once I've started to put everything back into it, or not back into it because I've not used this space before, but into it. And I've got furniture and obviously lots and lots of materials, but I'm hopeful that it will be quite easily organised in this space. So thanks so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and I'd love to hear your comments, and I'll catch you next time. So thanks a lot. Bye bye.